Okay, so I have these pre-made in little packs that I use in my classes, and I'm just going to find my end. It's easier said than done. There we go. Yep, got it. Okay, so as I said, we use 2 strands together, and I've just knotted these here for convenience. So we start with a slip knot. I'm going to do that again. I realise I've done that very fast. So how I do my slip knots is I drape. Excuse me, sorry. Someone's catching my throat today. We drape it over the finger. We get the strand behind, the working yarn that's called, and we're bringing it in towards the hand, up and over to form an X. Then we take this back strand and loop it over the front strand, and that is how you do a slip knot. So from here you can just pull on the working yarn and it will tighten that up for you. Now you need to get comfortable with the hook and the yarn. I drape mine round my little finger and then round my pointer finger, and that gives me the tension that I need. I use my middle finger and my thumb of my left hand to hold the yarn, and then this leaves my hand free to crochet back and forth. So from here we're going to chain, and we chain 55. I know that sounds like a lot. It is a lot, but we'll get there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, my hair, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And that is what your chains are going to look like. I'm going to pause here and I will meet you back when we get to 55. So I now have 55 on the hook. Also, I do recommend stitch markers. It will make this project faster and easier, but don't stress if you don't have stitch markers. The lovely thing about this pattern is it's so versatile. So it can be done with any yarn, it can be done with any number, it can be done with any size. Once you get comfortable doing the pattern, you'll be able to chop and change it however you want. So we're going to be working from the 3rd chain from the hook, and this is what your chains look like. So these are your chain spaces here. They look like little V's, and if you turn them over in the back, you'll see the wee bumps. And this is the first one, because we don't count on the hook. This second one, this 3rd one, and we're going to be going in there with a double crochet. So to do a double crochet, we yarn over, we insert the hook, we pull up a loop that we have 3 on the hook, we yarn over, we pull through 2, and we yarn over and we pull through 2. And we're going to do that again into that same chain space. So we yarn over, we pull up a loop, there's 3 on the hook, we yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And this is going to be our bud at the top. I'm going to go in here and create a slip knot, a slip stitch, sorry, into the same stitch, like so. And that just closes that off. So from here, what I'm going to do is we're going to count back the way down the chain, and we're going to insert our stitch markers. This is a repeating pattern from here on in. The only thing that changes is the number of chains, and that will make sense as we go on. So please don't get overwhelmed and stressed and freaking out going, I do not understand that woman, her accent's bad enough, let alone me trying to learn how to crochet. So for the first one, we're going to do 10. So this is going to be our next chain space. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So that just indicates to us we're going to increase our chains from there on. I'm going to count down 10 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And I'm going to put another stitch marker in here. And then for the rest of it, it's just going to be straight going, basically. Now, these numbers aren't precise. I do have a pattern. I'm going to give the pattern as well so that you can download the pattern file. And as I say, it's a really versatile pattern, so have fun with it, enjoy it, and do not get stressed, because we do not learn and we cannot take anything on board if we are stressed. And the whole point of crocheting is to unwind and de-stress. So for our first stitch, we are going to go in and we are going to pull through and pull through, which is a slip stitch, because we slip that right through. From here, we're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to go straight back down in here, and we're closing that by another slip stitch. So you're just pulling it straight through. You're not yarning over, you're just going straight through. And these are going to create our little buds of lavender. And the difference is whenever we get to here, instead of doing 4 chain, we're doing 5 chain and then 6 chain. And that's the only difference. So it's a lovely pattern to learn. We're going to go into our next space. And we're going to slip stitch right through and chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to come back down in there and close that off with a slip stitch. And we are going to repeat this the whole way down. So we're going into the next stitch and we're slipping it right through, slip stitch, and we're chaining 4. And we're going to close that off like so. So I'm going to meet you whenever I get to the stitch marker. Okay, so I'm just about to do the last one, but before you'll see it starting to twirl round, and that is perfectly normal. You're not doing anything wrong. That is fine. This is how we want this pattern to go. So it will start twirling round, and that's fine. So our stitch marker here, we're going to do 4 in this last one. We can remove the stitch marker now. We know this is going to be our last one, as doing a chain of 4. And then after that there, we're going to do chain of 5. So we're going to go into this chain space and we're going to slip stitch right through. And we're going to chain 4. And we're going to slip stitch back down in there again. So from now on, we're going to go 5, and how we increase 5, instead of chaining 4, we're just going to chain 5. So we slip stitch right through, and we are going to chain 5 this time instead of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to go back down in there and slip stitch that through. It's also easier if you bring out a good bit of yarn that you can work with. If the yarn's pulling at the other end and you're trying to pull it, it's not enjoyable at all. So we're going to go in here, slip stitch right through. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And you'll notice how loose I'm leaving these stitches. These aren't tight. They can be tight if you want them to be tight. It's perfectly up to you. That's what I'm saying. It's a really versatile pattern, but it's easier working looser just until you get comfortable with it. The chain 5. Now you should be able to notice that slight difference of the size of the buds. And what's this going to do is it's going to sort of like, it'll bring it out more at the bottom as it goes down, which is nice. So I am going to continue down to here and I'll meet you once I get to this stitch marker. Welcome back. So I'm just at the last stitch marker, and basically everything after this stitch marker is going to be a chain 6 instead of a chain 5. So we started off with chain 4 and then we chained 5 and now we're going to chain 6. So I have one more to put in the place where the stitch marker was. So we're yarning right through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to come down in here. Slip stitch that right through. So from now on to the end of the pattern, we are going to chain 6. So our pattern is slip stitch through, chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, come back down, close that wee bud off with a slip stitch, and we're going to go into our next stitch. We're going to create a slip stitch, and then we are going to chain 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's really hard doing this through a camera. I need to get a better stand. Slip stitch into the next stitch, chain 6, and a slip stitch to close that wee bud off. Don't be scared to pull tight on your yarn to bring that in together. Slip stitch, chain 6, back into the same space you came out of, and close that off. So this is what it's starting to resemble, and we'll be wrapping it around a stick at the end. I'm going to pause here and I will meet you back whenever we get to the end. Hello, so welcome back. You should have now finished. You'll know where your end's at. This is going to be the bottom of the piece because of the tags on it. I just wanted to quickly show you the wee boxes that I have made up. So they're different colours of lavender, and then you get the green string, and I'm going to show you how to put it all together and how to complete the lavender and how simple and effective it is. So I have my bamboo skewer and I have my glue dots. Now I have none of these in stock anymore. I plan on doing a few through the summer with the kids being off school, but I usually, that's a big plane flying over my house. I usually just do them up for my classes. So actually, no, we don't start up there. We start down here. So we're doing the stem first. So it doesn't have to be perfect. If you just see the length of this, we're just going to take it halfway point here and we're going to attach a glue dot. And it's simple as just rolling the glue dot over like so. And that's it. Then we get our green coloured yarn. Just get this opened. It's a really low plane. I'm not too sure if you can hear that or not. And all we simply do is attach to the glue dot and then keep twirling. Now, I have found that the glue dots, one at the top and one at the bottom, is quite enough. If you want to do one at the bottom, that is fine. If you feel more secure. So all you do now is you twirl this, but you make sure pushing it down because you're wanting it nice and tight. You're wanting the whole stick covered. And you keep going till you get to the very, very bottom. And I am going to put on another glue dot here. You can use a glue gun, but I find with a glue gun, you burn your fingers. And that is why I prefer the wee glue dots. And then you just give it a nice wee. I always just leave a wee bit because that is going to come down in time. And then what I do is I tidy up the end once I'm completed. So for this stage, this is the lavender part. We put the glue dot at the pointy bit at the top. Like so. And we get the top of our project. Now we know the top of it. We've created that wee bud at the top and that goes over the top. You'll see that's like a wee cat nearly, the way it works. And your ends are going to be down here. So we're wanting to start from this. And we're going to put that on the very top. Like so, and give it a wee squeeze, and that will secure that in place. Now, you're going to be wanting to get the flat edge of your work, and all you're going to do is twirl it. Now, you're going to have to sort of unwind here and twirl at the same time. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just a matter of getting it on and then securing it how you like it. You could also just wrap it around, whatever way is more comfortable for you to be putting it on. Make sure to untwist it as you go because the straight bit always has to be hitting the wood. Owen, I apologise, my children are home now. And it will naturally spiral as well around it, but you're just making sure that you're getting that straight bit into, you're wrapping it around fully, if that makes sense, like so. So again, don't be too hung up on getting it perfect. I'm gonna try and lift this up a bit. Oh, I can lift it up. Fantastic. Right, okay. So, as you can see, it was sitting away further down. I'm going to have to lift it up a bit more. Yes, as you can see, it was away by down here, and you're going to, you can shove it away up, you can bring it down, you can ruffle it up, and basically have it sitting the way you want it to sit, because some of them will grip together and it is just a matter of ruffling them around. And then once you get that done, you will notice you'll have like 2 wee ends left, and all you do is, well, this is all I do. You can be completely different, you can do it whatever way you want. I just tie it together to secure it. So again, it's nothing fancy. And it's super simple. Once that's tied nice, I put it up a wee bit and then just give it another wee tighten. And that is your lavender. Very simple but very effective, and a lovely easy tutorial to do. You can, I would recommend, what I do is I get my hook and I sort of feed these up in through this to hide them, disguise them, feed them up the way. You can snip them off, especially this isn't going to be a pattern like a blanket or anything that you're going to be using that's going to be, you know, used all the time. I just have mine on a display and a wee, it's a wee, I can't get my words out, what am I trying to say, you know, like a wee reed dispenser. Well, the oil ran out of it, so that's what I have mine in now. And then once this, you just snip off the ends, and that's it. You have a beautiful little lavender.